Yeah, it was fantastic. That's the one thing I loved. Many things I loved about the book, but these three characters, once they're away from Hogwarts, they're on the run. And you know, when we make these movies, we're predominantly studio bound and we're predominantly Hogwarts bound. And Hallows Part 1 allowed us to get out and get the characters out as they're kind of, in a way, it's a race to find Horcruxes, and it's a race to stay one step ahead of the Death Eaters and the Snatchers who are pursuing them. And that was really appealing. Do you know, it's great. I mean, they've grown up around a lot of green screens, frankly, and that's what's really wonderful about them as well, because they're probably the most experienced actors in the world at working in green screen environments. But when you take them out into the real forest, or you put them on a beach, first thing in the morning, and they get soaking wet because it's cold and it's windy, and they absolutely loved it. You know, it kind of infuses the work, and it makes it feel realer and stronger. And so I think it did us all a power of good getting out and about. And also I have a huge crew of people who work with me. We make these films together, and rhythmically for the crew, it's good to get out. We sort of head, it's like a big travelling circus. We head for the Wales or Scotland or wherever, and it's sort of that rhythmic change keeps everyone on their toes. Ah, we loved doing that. It was really fun. It's a really tender scene in the movie, and I had a choreographer called Anthony Van Last, who's a really clever man. And Anthony choreographed that dance sequence, first of all. I went away for 2 hours. I said, Anthony, just work with Dan and Emma. And I came back and sat down. I was very nervous, and we pressed the music. And they did this perfectly executed dance, which was far too professional and far too perfect, because of course Anthony's brilliant at that kind of stuff. And I said, stop guys, I'm not sure this is right. I said, can we just make it a bit more awkward and a bit more fumbly, because they don't know how to dance. They've never danced. This is the first time they've ever danced. And Anthony said, got it. I went away for another hour, did another shot somewhere else, doing something, came back, and Anthony had given them several moves which they could then kind of almost riff around. So he gave them a very basic framework, but the dance is essentially theirs. And I sat down, we played the music, and it was this really awkward, fumbly, slightly funny, but very sweet and moving, awkward dance together. And I said, Anthony, that's perfect. Keep it like that, a bit kind of deconstructed. It represents two sides of my id, I think, you know, basically. There's part of me that sort of goes to the melancholic and the poignant and the sad so easily. But then you bring out the pyrotechnics and the big boxes with buttons that you press to blow things up, and I suddenly schizophrenically shift to this 8-year-old boy who just likes the kind of big explosions and the fights and stuff. Because all that kind of stuff is really fun. And I had a wonderful guy called John Richardson who did all those kind of big explosion-y things. And we shot the movie, so there'd be 2 days where we'd shoot something like The Dance, which is so delicate and intimate, and then the next day we'd be out having Death Eaters fight, you know, and blow things up. So it was a very bipolar experience. But it was actually really healthy, because you didn't get too kind of, you didn't get too stuck in one mode, hopefully, for too long.